Welcome, everybody, to this episode of Fargonauts. We are the Super Summer Star Wars boys, and
we're massive.
We're massive, entertaining boys.
Big broichy boys.
We're going to show a trailer that came out recently that is I think a new IP for Star Wars, a open world, the first ever fully open world game that Star Wars has come out with, I think.
Is it though?
I'm pretty sure it's like I'm gonna say it's like GTA Star Wars.
Do you count their MMO?
Well, open world? That part of it could be interesting. No, I mean, like, I feel like Jedi Survivor and all that was pretty open world.
It's very, yeah. I mean, you still
you
like
weren't
go
on
to
the same world, but it's still like technically just it's just a loading screen, so it would be the same thing as just going through a door, you know. But
I think this is being sold as that, though. I think we can definitely debate that.
Yeah.
But here's what we got here.
The Empire? They're everywhere.
That's pretty nuts.
I mean, it's a good looking trailer. A lot of interesting stuff.
Belongs to the syndicates.
Is it Nim Dub? No.
No, Nian Yub lives through Return of the Jedi. And wait, does he also show up as
in the sequel trilogy?
I have to play their game.
Does he die?
Sure.
Freaking rip, man.
The sequel trilogy. More reason to not consider that canon.
Save me and Nub. Save him. So I have seen this trailer.
There she is.
And when I saw it, I was like, it just feels weird that I feel like I have not heard a single rumor or whisper or anything being like, we're working on a new game. Like nothing. And it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
I've been held back my whole life.
Oh.
A cute little boy.
Yeah, like a ground axolotl.
Yeah.
I just need a chance.
Axel Little.
Finally be free.
If he was more birdish, he could be an axolotl.
I'm here to offer you a way out, okay?
Get off my ship, Jalen.
Give me a chance.
She's got a cool looking gun.
So Josh Duhamel.
Trust me. It'll be dangerous, risky. But if you pull
I like the
like,
robot friend.
you'll never.
Yeah, when he showed up, I started wondering who these voices could be.
He looks like White Lando.
This ship that she's flying is cool. It's like pretty simple, but a really nice design, I think.
Oh, that guy.
Maybe?
But it's a big galaxy out there.
It's a big galaxy out there.
Stop, bang, bang, bang.
Pew pew go boom.
Star Wars Outlaws, coming 2024.
2024. All right, guys.
Robot in
So
a trench coat is cool.
first initial thoughts on that.
Yeah. What's he need a trench coat for?
I mean, fashion, I guess. He learned.
I guess maybe
right ways.
keep dust and water out of him, you know? What's this?
This is a 10-minute gameplay demo or gameplay feature of this game. So we're gonna talk over it and we can look at what they're. It's a work in progress, so
Does not represent final quality. Okay.
so I
Aw.
think it's gonna be very much kind of like a GTA, like you're a criminal of some kind, and you're just like just a low level grunt that works for a syndicate or something like that, and gets in bad.
Or independent contractor.
Could be.
Or maybe it's like in Solo where you work for a syndicate but try to break out of that system and stuff. Yeah, because he's talking about in the trailer how the whole galaxy is controlled by the syndicates.
Bet you she's like a small level smuggler, and then she gets into something that she shouldn't. And that's how she gets she wanders into a situation she shouldn't have. And that's how she fucking gets wrapped up in everything.
At least from that trailer,
It's got to be that MacGuffin. It's got to be that MacGuffin, though. It's like she finds an artifact that the syndicate
Please
wants.
don't. No, I don't want a fucking MacGuffin.
There's gonna be something like
Dude, it's a video game. There's going to be a MacGuffin.
There doesn't have to be. There's plenty of video games
There will be.
with MacGuffins, though.
Well, but there will be.
Well, it's like
Yeah,
if
but
it was a
I
true
choose
like
to disagree with that.
if it's like a true open world kind of game like a GTA, it's like you want to just go and explore and do whatever, right? Because some of the fun stuff of GTA is like getting a car, customizing a car, and just getting in havoc and having the world as a sandbox to just do whatever you want. If it was really linear, like it's an open world, but it's like a linear progression, like like when I think of that, I think of like the Assassin's Creed games, where it's like, yeah, it's truly
Right.
open world, but it's very direct. Like you go here, you go here, you go here. It's not like a good example would be like like an open world ish is like a Bloodborne maybe,
Well,
where it's like you can just
G-
go wherever, or like an Elden Ring, where it's like, hey, if you find
Yeah,
something
it's
interesting over here,
If
just
it is
go
gonna-
have fun.
if it is going to be an open world sandbox thing, but it's also going to have this kind of stuff, because I see like like restricted area and enemies alerted at the top. Maybe GTA is a good way to go off, because like GTA, you have your open world experience, you can run around, you can do stuff. If you get into trouble with the cops, that's fine, you die and it goes into like a reset state, you're back in your sandbox world. But then you can choose to engage in missions where it's like this, like specific place populated by people that they've put there for reasons. You move through a story, but then if you're not choosing to do that, yeah, have fun in the open world.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably story missions, but other shit you can do at the same time.
Because the way that this like controls and how the camera's kind of framed over her, it reminds me of like the shooting in GTA.
Like how they're like, all right, she needs a cute little sidekick. We got it. We have a droid in the Jedi game, so let's just give her a cute little animal this time.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's got to have somebody to quip to, because these characters,
Yeah.
like, they do it when they're alone in a lot of video games these days, but I
Yeah.
think they're starting to give them little companions, so it's not as awkward
And
sometimes.
if you saw, there's like a
And
gimmick
there's
where
merchandising.
you can have it
Oh, yeah.
go
Yeah.
turn off a light switch, That's
Yeah.
another gimmick of the game.
Yeah.
This is interesting, like Deadeye. Yeah, like Red Dead, Deadeye.
Oh yeah, so
stuff.
Red Dead, Star Wars Redemption.
I mean, that's another great example too. Like open world for you to roam around and do your stuff, but
Yeah.
then when you want to, you can
Probably what this bitch gonna be like, more like Red Dead, but in Star Wars.
I'm open to that.
I'm
I
open to
don't-
that, but you have to like in Red Dead, you have to pad it out. Like there is the story that you can progress through and do whatever, but there's also like these side things that kind of captivate me more, like the hunting and the fishing and
Yeah.
like treasure seeking.
I'm sure there's shit like that in
Yeah,
that too.
it looks like there's going to be that where you can like, because with that opening in this video where she's and in the trailer too, she's like sitting around poker table, and in this the little critter grabbed something
poker.
that looked like maybe ore or like a resource. So maybe you gather, you can gather resources, you go hunting, you do.
You play
hacking, all
poker
kinds of-
like in Red Dead? I knew some about this. Looked for like I'm like, something this really reminds me of, and I'm trying to think what it is, and it didn't dawn on me until you said Red Dead, and I was like, oh okay, that's what it is. That's what I'm thinking about was Red Dead.
This guy's designation is ND5.
ND5.
And he's nuts, dude. He's North Dakota 5, bro.
Well, I like the idea of
Voiced by Idris Elba as
Wait.
Springer Bell.
Oh, Stringer.
I like that the trailer, and so far nothing in this, has made like overt references to the Force, to Jedi, to lightsabers. And if this can all kind of take place separate from that, that will be really cool. So
Yeah,
that makes me think.
This seems like this is all like, normies.
Mhm.
It's all like bounty hunters and fucking syndicates and crime people and smugglers and all that shit.
There's an Imperial officer sitting just off screen here, and it's like no big deal. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I like is there's no. I mean, obviously you saw her dealing with ties and shit in the thing, but there's none of the like Star Wars military shit either. That's because either you're getting in a lot of Star Wars games, it's either Jedi shit or like the military shit, the the X-wing TIE fighter shit.
yeah, you take one side on the conflict or another. Yeah.
Yeah, so this looks like none of those, which makes me happy.
One reason.
There's an
that
Empire person right there, just chilling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, okay.
just in the seat, just chilling. But like one reason that I would choose to believe that it's not going to be something based on a MacGuffin.
Oh yeah, bribe, do not bribe.
Is that a lot of the GTA Red Dead games, they're not about MacGuffins, they're about an overall goal, to advance above your place in the world. Red Dead, it's get your family back. So maybe it's just like, breaking free of the syndicate powers and be able to do what she wants. And that just makes me think it's hopefully not going to be about some stupid MacGuffin or treasure planet or anything like that.
I mean, that could be an aspect on part of a story mission. You never know. It could be just a one and done thing, and then you can just go off and
totally Red Dead.
Absolutely, but I'm so sick of so many movies these days, and games, just so many things being based around the MacGuffin. I know it's been around forever, but I'm yeah.
The tried and true.
This is what really got me, because I was like, okay, this is like No Man's Star Wars, because it's like she jumps into her cockpit.
No Man's Wars.
No Man's Wars right here. So she gets out, and it seems like a cinematic. But at a certain point, it is loading up at the top. You see that. So there is a transition here.
Now you're piloting. It looks like
you're piloting. It's still like, I don't know, maybe loading a little bit.
That doesn't look like loading. That maybe looks like a wanted meter. Like you're only halfway reputable with the Empire here, so you have to watch yourself.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because you just got wanted from the thing, and you're basically put up on the screens and shit.
Yeah, so maybe that's a wanted meter.
Yeah.
So this is still a cinematic.
Oh, I love that font choice.
All right, she's turning. All right, so now we're getting into the ties and fighting.
Oh, she's turning
in space.
Now this is the sheriff's or posse / police chasing you in Red Dead / Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to avoid and get the fuck out of there.
When she sat down in the cockpit right before it transitioned to her taking off, there's a couple things that popped up where it was like, open the map or do this other thing. So yeah, that reminded me of some in Red Dead. You get on your horse, and from your horse you can access stuff that you can't if you're not on it.
And now see your wanted meters higher.
Yeah, because you're
up in the corner.
The Empire there. Hyperdrive ready though, so you're about to get rid of
that
level, I assume.
Yeah.
Or maybe it stays per system or something like that. Since
it's going down. It's going down now. It's gone.
Well, yeah, maybe, but it would keep track of hey, this place you just left, you're still going to be wanted because you're still. Interesting.
And that was one quest. Okay.
Yeah, I see quest, maybe mission type of. I'm intrigued. This scrungly little guy.
Yeah.
Gotta love that thing.
I do.
Got scales and fur.
Yeah, just like me.
Oh, that's the MacGuffin right there. She brought it to the client, but then she's got a little piece of it, and it's like, oh, that's ultra super contraband.
Yeah.
You had it the whole time. You gave it to a toy for your little thing.
Your little plushie that's gonna come out.
Your squattle.
See, I like this. All these different places. A desert area, gotta have it. Gotta have a jungle area.
Gotta have it, dude.
A foresty jungle. You gotta have a city. It's dope.
Gotta have the ATS
snow area.
Chicken. That's that shit from Rise of Skywalker.
Got that.
The place where they meet what's her face in the mask, Carrie Russell.
Oh, Carrie Russell, yeah.
Yep.
And Babu.
Felicity.
Yeah, and Babu. Oh, she was Felicity.
Boy Babu.
Yes. Coming
2024. So, what do you guys think? I'm gonna play this at a little slower speed.
Some time for Super Summon Star Wars next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully.
That's gonna be fun. When we look at the main character and things like that,
0.25? 0.25? This is a 10-minute video. That's gonna be
we can see things up close. Well, we want to discuss it. I mean, I just want to talk it through. When you look at those characters, do you think those are going to be the only two characters that maybe come along with our crew, or maybe we can control that robot at a certain point? Or what do you guys feel? Are we just going to control this girl?
If you run missions as the droid, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
No, I think he'll just be another character, like in Red Dead or something.
Right.
He will just be.
That's MacGuffin right there. There it is.
You get to know, you learn about more about him, and just as he's another person that moves through the game, and
That
That would
avocado?
totally, that for me, that would like benefit the game, I think, a little bit more, is like in a GTA when you play as like Trevor, Frank, and Michael, you know, it's like you can switch between them and they all have their different little side things. That would pad out that game, or even like a DLC eventually where you can play as that droid ND5.
Yeah, and he's nuts.
I think it would just make it more of a get for me. Like they sold me. Like they sold me already with like this premise, but like even adding on to that by saying you're not just gonna play as this main character. It definitely revolves around her, but you can then decide like to send ND5 off on these little side missions where only you like keep in control of him or another crewmate that you find along the way.
I doubt they're gonna be like expand your crew with these unique characters you can meet.
No.
I think it's just gonna be those two. And
They are on the cover, so that it's definitely like
Can
I
I
like the
say-
duo. I like the duo. That's kind of a cool idea.
Having a blast watching this little boy just run in slow motion.
What about like when you think about GTA and Red Dead? There's always
Yeah.
a multiplayer feature where you can customize a character and play in that sandbox with a crew or a posse. Do you think there might be
Yeah.
an aspect of that in here?
Nope. I think this
No.
will be
No.
solely single player, 100% single player. Maybe some like connectivity, like compete with your friends to get high scores or challenges or whatever. But
Yeah.
I
I
can see
don't- I don't-
that. I can see like maybe a side game or like a mini game where it is like a race through the checkpoints and there's different races on each planet that you can like opt into. Like, all right, I'm gonna customize this new speeder and I'm gonna race against the NPCs and then get the best time and then share that to a leaderboard for online.
Yeah.
There could be that.
This seems very much like they're trying to focus on a small cast of characters, single player experience, but within that, like maybe a pretty realized GTA / Red Dead or like one of those type of open world, like Saints Row, something like that. One of those worlds for you to be able to. The replayability comes in having that open world to play in, and then maybe down the line doing like a GTA style DLC where it's like, okay, all that stuff still happening, but side story or happening after the fact or whatever. Now you get to play as the droid, and here's his own, and now the character you played as last time, she's a side character.
That could be interesting.
Because they've done like the Ballad of Gay Tony or Lost in the Damned, where it's like you
play as
control of this
just another
random
side
biker
character. Yeah.
who was like technically in the story
Johnny
in-
Klebitz.
Yeah, but then like it kind of flops the roles where you're him and everybody else is the side character.
Right. But again, I will say business boys be business boys, and they want to milk as much as they can out of a game and to production. I can see them wanting to do microtransactions and things like that, like a GTA with shark cards and things like that. In some form, it doesn't have to be like an online multiplayer kind of thing, or like just that, for instance, a separate side story based around a customized character that you play, that you can then purchase more in-game money to unlock more things and then get bonuses and new vehicles or what have you. It doesn't have to happen in this one, but definitely in like future iterations, business people will just like to milk that, and I just know they're skeevy and they'll do that anyway.
Maybe not with Star Wars though, because that is something that's owned by Disney, and they're so specific with it's not like other game companies where they can just decide to maybe that could happen, but that's like a completely different. This seems like a very specifically designed standalone thing that is meant to just be its own thing.
Right.
Because then it's like with Fallout 4, like, or Starfield. People are like, hey, can we get a Bethesda game that's online that I can play with my friends? They're like, yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? Fallout 76, completely separate from anything else. We're not going to give it to you in Fallout 4 or Starfield or anything like that. It's a separate thing. You got to, play by our rules and do it only this way. So yeah, maybe down the line they create something like that.
This is actually reminding me more of like an Uncharted open world. I see the yellow paint, things you can grab onto, things like that, and I also see a lot of
It's like if
Lara
Uncharted.
Croft, because she uses like
Yeah.
a grappling hook, and in Uncharted 4 you use like a grappling hook kind of feature to like
Yeah, it's like if
slide
those
down.
adventure games banged fucking Red Dead and GTA. That's what this game is.
That's what it feels like watching this early concept of it. Like they don't show you going to a store really and being like, these are the, because typically in a gameplay video that's not when it is like the final product, you'll see like, oh, here are the different types of currency that you'll be using in the game, like your character
Yeah,
in the
'cause
game.
that's the
and
shit they'll
your
get to later.
yeah.
In development.
Once that sort of stuff like fills in the gaps here, I think we'll get a more clear idea of exactly what they're going for. But it seems like a weird mesh baby between GTA, Red Dead, a bunch of other
I
stuff.
like the word mesh, baby.
Mesh baby.
Mesh. Oh, look at that mesh, baby.
Anything else we can discuss, or maybe I mean,
Well,
it looks
I
like there's
I like
looks
that
like
yellow
there's
yellow tie there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
There's a stealth feature, it seemed, a little bit.
Yep.
So that's very much
Yeah.
like a Lara Croft, Splinter Cell, or like a Metal Gear Solid, even,
Metal Gear Solid, yes.
Metal Gear Solid, not Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid.
It's in like she just got noticed by the Rhodian, and maybe like
Yeah.
let's say there's like not a skill tree, but you can like learn to actually talk your way out of it a tiny bit, where the dude's like, all right, I don't believe you, but just get out of here, instead of having to shoot him or something like that.
Right.
Or just
Well, and then,
speaking
like, in that-
Huttese. Even maybe she just doesn't know Huttese.
In that
Yeah,
quest
sure.
where she went into that back room with the fucking Mon Cala and the Mon Calamari and the Imperial, she had an option to bribe or don't bribe, and
Yeah. And I wonder if that's more like, if it's less of a morality thing, like good versus
Yeah.
bad, or improving your standing with this faction rather than hurting your standing or something like that.
right.
It looks like you can switch gun mode so it stuns rather than blasts.
And
And
stunning and gunning.
And smack them with it.
just a takedown. That's a normal takedown move.
Oh,
that you
did he
do.
absorb a blast from another motherfucker too? Nice.
I'm
I
noticing.
think it looks fun though.
Yeah, I don't want to say that I'm sold, because with
No.
Star Wars games and with like a lot of modern games, I really hold my reservations until the final product is out and I get a clear
Yep.
representation of what it is.
Yep.
But I'm intrigued.
Yep.
I do need to see more, and I do like the.
So right now, I think we know, like it's where we can see the obvious influences of other types of games into it.
right.
So we kind of,
They need
so
to
far
roll
from
more
what
of
we're
this
shown,
out.
we know what to expect. But maybe once they get more, there's going to be other things that kind of spin it around, make it different. We don't know yet.
The thing I
Right
really
now, it
liked
looks like
in
yeah.
Red Dead, the first one, just the Red Dead Redemption, they
Yeah.
had this series of videos that would come out where a guy's narrating on just things you can do, and it
Yeah.
was like every video I was like, oh, that is so cool, I'm glad they thought of that. I'm like, oh man, they're just adding more and more interesting concepts to this game, and like
Right.
they're like really scenic. I'd have to go back and look at them, but like just those videos sold like the gameplay, and like I bought it like completely, like hook, line, sinker, because of those. And then they did the same thing for Red Dead Redemption 2, but they went even more like, we added this, now we added that. And just the guy talking about little features in the game and little narration about just this small topic, I was like, oh, interesting. They need that. Like, gameplay is great, I like seeing like all these small things, but you just need a guy telling you like, here's a small section of this game, but I'm gonna like deep dive and like kind of pick it apart a little bit and tell you about it. Or here's just customizing a gun, here's just customizing your speeder, here's just customizing your clothes. Whatever it is, it's just, I need to see a little bit more, because
Right.
I think that just benefited when I watched those Red Dead ones. And looks like this like gun is auto blasting. She's not like pulling the trigger. It's just like you
No,
get
she
this
is.
gun,
It's just something. It's
but then
something
it like
she picked
fizzles
up.
out. It fizzles out, and then she's just like, all right, peace, gone.
Yeah, she picked up her enemy's weapon, and then until it runs out of ammo, she gets to use it. I think that was. But I'm also noticing the icon for your little friend on the bottom right there for like right below her. It looks like a face hugger.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Well,
Face
for being a year out, and it looks like they're still trying to solidify some stuff. Well, I think we get a good enough idea to
Yeah.
be able to look forward to it. And it's set between Empire and Jedi, so
Oh,
that's
Right.
that's an interesting time period.
Yeah, that's when I don't know what it is, because that's like when the comics are set right now too, which I was jacked for, because it's like that's a very unexplored era, just because there's not a lot of time in there, you know. That's why a lot of shit takes place. Like if it takes place during the original trilogy, a lot of it takes place between A New Hope and Empire, because that's like the biggest amount of time to work with.
mm-hmm.
But not a lot of stuff explored between Empire and Jedi, so I like that.
And if this really is in some region of the galaxy where the Empire, where that conflict isn't as prevalent, or like if this just is so separated from Jedis, from that conflict, from the Force, from all that kind of stuff, that'd be a nice breath of fresh air, I think.
Right. It's going to be a Luke Skywalker cameo at the end.
Hey, a cameo's fine. Cameo's fine, but I don't need it to be like,
Yeah.
It's just seen it enough times. Give me something different, please.
Right.
Speeders.
Speeders.
Swoop bike.
Yeah, her little moped or her Vespa equivalent right there doesn't seem like it could go against those speeders, really.
That's what you think.
That's why you got to get to the shit.
So you had the Scooter Squad and fucking Boba Fett, dude. They showed us.
The Mod
Yeah, but it
Squad.
was painful to watch because it was just evident. It's like they're going, what, maybe 30?
Yeah,
Maybe.
the slow-mo chase scene. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's like the what were those the rascal scooters?
Yeah.
It's like chasing somebody on that.
Or the
That'd be
chase
hilarious.
Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah.
But maybe that's the point, is that your speeder is not meant to be able to outrun stuff. You're meant to like get them in a more advantageous position so you can blast them like this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Those reticles are kind of cool too. It showed like how many Deadeye shots like you could do.
Mm-hmm. She's selecting which targets it's going to go on and then releases it and just pew, 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 pew.
Nothing like a good speeder blow up. I love those. They just slam into shit and blow up. Love it.
Yeah, I love that about Jedi.
I mean, I get that people, it's the common consensus, but when everybody's always like, yeah, man, Return of the Jedi is the weakest of the original trilogy. I'm like, what are you talking about?
What?
Is it just because of the Ewoks or what? Like, you get the speeder bike chase, you get the big lightsaber.
Yeah, dude. Homies fucking hated Ewoks right away
I mean,
when that came out.
I always thought
Which
it was
I get.
like, weird, but I never hated it. I never outright said I don't like this.
I could show you that Sam Witwer defense of the Ewoks video. I loved it. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I understood exactly where he was coming from and how that needed to happen because it fit perfectly within.
Yeah, dude. If you
what
need
happens
somebody to make
after.
a good fucking Star Wars argument, Sam Witwer's good at it.
He is, yeah. Just the things that Luke learned in Empire get paid off in Jedi. That's all I'll say. And it's just great how Witwer puts it, and it makes sense. So I mean, yeah, I can be down with the Ewoks. They're cool.
It's just nice.
I was always down with the Ewoks, dude. I was always down with them. Until they started blinking. That was weird.
With their weird teeth and
Teeths, yeah.
As an adult, it's kind of nice. It's like, oh, this is refreshing. Like they're trying to inject some levity here. They're trying to do And then they have the scenes of like they're in the big battle and they're weeping over each other's corpses, and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah, all right.
these poor little teddy bears have feelings."
Perfect way to
Syndicate
encapsulate
reputation down.
innocence.
Yeah, you see that? I don't know what
Perfect.
might have caused your reputation to go down in that moment, but like right there, Pike Syndicate reputation down.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, it's definitely they were a perfect just example of an innocent race for the Empire to go in on. Is just some cute little teddy bears, you know.
So
Gonna
here's the
fuck
thought.
you up.
Here's the thought about this game, right? Is the trailer was talking about like the syndicates control everything, blah blah blah. I don't, and the thing being like reputation down. So does that mean that it could also be reputation up? Like, what if you chose like, hey, this playthrough, I'm gonna totally 100% side with the Pike Syndicate, and you
Right.
climb that ladder, you become a more like ruthless character. You start the world around you becomes more like, you know, you and your gang
Yeah.
are holding things down and stuff. Do you think that might be possible? Because in
Possible. I could also see it as just like you help them out, and then you're able to move more freely through different parts and don't have to worry about them fucking with you. You know.
that seems more likely, but I've been playing Fallout New Vegas, and that's got a really good like reputation system with people. So
Right.
it would be interesting to have that option. Whoa, that dude
Coming through.
Beep, beep.
Fuck off.
He just cut like right next to everybody. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting because it is kind of cool to be able to be like, hey, I'm going to choose. I know that I can do this. Like from the start of this game, I'm going to just choose to play a totally different alignment, different faction, go meet up with different people, do different missions for them and stuff. And it doesn't even have to reflect like a good character or a bad character, but just, you know.
Right.
Yeah, there should be some freedom to explore being ruthless or being Paragon, whatever, you know.
Yeah, like Cyberpunk.
Like Cyberpunk, like Mass Effect. Yeah, just
Mhm.
I mean, you could definitely do jobs for all the different like corpos, tiger claws, you know, and all those different subsections of the world, but then like
And
be
you
your
can-
own person too.
Yeah. It would be. I just feel like that's something I don't see, or if it's done, it's kind of like rough. If you do have a faction system like that, and you side with somebody, like it's just rare that really starts to reflect in the world around you. Where you side with this one gang, you do 16 missions for them, wiping out all these other rival factions. But then after you do that, you still are walking around the city and you're seeing all the factions you've taken out, like walking around still, because the game, you know.
Yeah, they never truly died. No one's ever really dead, you know.
The smiley little friend down there, he's so adorable.
I know, dude.
Man, my boy ND5's got the waistline of a Barbie doll.
Yeah, he does.
What is
Love
he?
how
fucking
he walks like a
E2
thug. I
battle
love it.
droid?
With the shoulder width of a fucking power lifter, dude.
Yeah.
He's
Is he a
he's definitely
E2
a
battle droid?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's one of
that.
them.
He's that.
Yeah.
You can play them in the
Super Battle
Battlefront,
Droid?
the
No.
Battlefront
What's
games.
it called?
No, not super. I think it's
I
a
forget what they're called.
B2 or something like that. Because I think you fight those in Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, and they have like batons, and they're more acrobatic.
I don't know.
But you play as one of them in the Battlefront games.
Bosk. That could
Yeah,
totally
there's a
be
little
Bosk
boss
right there.
though. Trandoshan.
I mean, it's a Trandoshan, but that could even be Bosk maybe, because if it takes
Yeah,
place
yeah.
between Empire and Jedi.
My boy Bosk is in here. I'd be happy. Love that boy.
Hopefully they get some good cameo bounty hunters and stuff. IG-88.
Commando
Yeah.
droid. He was a commando droid. At least that's from Battlefront 2. It looks just like him. He's got those eyes and that head. BX commando droid.
Interesting. ND5.
Indiana Jones 5, dude. Indy 5.
Indy 500.
They're calling
So-
out. We
Calling out the movie that's coming out this year.
We love it. We've seen it. It's great.
Yeah.
This looks like a fixer. This looks like if it was Cyberpunk, it would be like a fixer. And they're like putting people together and like, hey, look at this person.
Yeah.
Meet
Well,
this person.
she did some kind of job for him because she brings him that thing from the very beginning.
I think that's a her.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Could be a her.
It's
She brings
it's a
this
fish.
person.
She should say she looks like a fish.
Like a fish.
Well, yes, that's the point, Tyler.
Yeah, I got it. Just a fish.
Didn't you look a lot like
What's up, bitch?
That's pretty much, I guess, if you guys don't have anything else to say about it, I'm looking forward to it.
That's
Looking
fine.
forward
Find
to
things to
more
say.
info, you know? Looking forward to
Yeah.
more stuff.
Would you like to know more?
I would. Click here. Where can I click? I want to know more about you.
You can click on the
Outlaws.
subscribe button.
Yeah.
It will only bring you to the
If you click the
information
like
you
and
wanna
subscribe
see.
button.
Yeah, you got to click the subscribe and then the like button in that order.
Yeah. And then you have to comment.
Take off.
Tell us what you found out when you learned more.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I just wanted to get another final look at the ship.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what else
Star
is in
Wars.
store for
This is a Star Wars. It is a game.
Ta-da. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed our little discussion on the Star Wars Outlaws official gameplay
Yeah.
trailer and walkthrough trailer,
Yeah.
or normal trailer and gameplay trailer. But we'll talk about more Star Wars things in the future.
Fargonauts. Star Wars Outlaws official gameplay reveal trailer, gameplay walkthrough, 100% no commentary, 4K 60 FPS. I don't know.
Disney.
What are the tags? yeah. Disney, Star Wars, hashtag may the force be with you.
Yeah.